Hi guys. So we're in the Lincolnville neighborhood right now, just trying to assess the damage of how things are. And we're letting some people cross the road. Some people are just starting to kind of get out and about, those who did not evacuate, just to see how things are. And so I understand we're on Washington Street. And hey, how did you do? The water got into the garage. The water got in the garage? In the house? Yes. Okay, all right. He doesn't want to be on TV, so we're going to let him be. I was just checking to see if he was okay. But he did say the water did get in the garage. And that's what we're hearing from a lot of folks here. Some of these homes have been elevated in the past few years because of previous hurricanes that have been damaged. I'm going to stop right here, and you can kind of get a good look at this. So you can see the water line in this garage. The doors are open for this garage, right? And it looked like they created some door dams, but you can see the water line. Can you see the water line on the walls there and on the door dams? That's how high the water got. And so if you look then at the door, see the door, the beige or peach door here, look how high that water line is. I would venture to say that is knee to thigh high. That's pretty high. You know what? No one is behind me. I'm on a very empty street. I'm going to go out and just show you real quickly. You can stay in here, Heather. Okay, so look at this level of watermark. So look, that's about knee deep. Yikes. And then over here, thigh deep. That's the high watermark right there. And so this is again in the Lincolnville neighborhood. These homes face the Lake Maria Sanchez, and so that is an area that often floods because it's affected by tides. And you know, we had a high tide today. And so as we're just going through, you see some people out just kind of checking on each other, checking on their neighborhood to see what's going on. And you know, after being cooped up for a little while, you want to see how things are going. We're going to make a right here and see South Street. Is this South? Yeah, this is South Street. So South Street is another road that often floods. You can see the debris down in the road, and the way the debris is laying looks like water surely covered this street as well. We're going to go down even further south, because the farther south you go, you know, can you turn the camera? I'm going to see if we can go. Actually, something caught my eye. It looks like we have an emergency vehicle of some sort to our right. Don't know exactly what they're checking out, but they are checking out something here in the Lincolnville area. So again, it just looks like they had a lot of water, and that is expected when we have these kind of storms and the high tides in this low-lying area of Lincolnville. We have seen one tree down, and a lot of the damage, you know, you see just debris on the streets, but a lot of the damage takes place inside the homes, because when they flood and that water gets in, a lot of times the drywall, the walls, the floors are really just messed up and have to be replaced. And that is what I consider to be damaged from the inside out. And we've seen this time and time again with the storms. Okay, so we've got a piece of heavy equipment down here. This is ML King that we're driving down. This is actually the high rise of Lincolnville, meaning this is the ridge of Lincolnville that is high, but the further south you go, like we are in the southern part of Lincolnville, it does indeed flood. And so these homes here have flooded in the past, but I'm going to point out something. I'm going to see if I can squeeze by this fella. I am. Thank you very much, City of St. Augustine. This home was elevated after Matthew. And this home across the street was elevated after Ian. This home was elevated after Matthew. And it's just one after another homes that, you know, when they have been flooded, the folks said, we're just not going to deal with that again, and we're going to elevated. So it's good to see that those homes look to be okay. The water lines on those elevated homes are below the first floor. So that's good. Again, we're seeing some water on road still, but remember, high tide was several hours ago. We're probably hitting low tide if we haven't already right now. And I'm gonna turn down this road right here. These poor folks, look at that water line on that house. And this one has flooded over and over again. Now, it looks like they tried to build a door dam on their door. You see that? And then put tape around it to try and keep the water out. And I wonder if that worked. I hope it sure did. They didn't even put sandbags out. Hopefully that worked. And then they taped up the screen. Do you see the screen? There you go. They taped that up too. Goodness sakes. It doesn't look like their home, but I sure hope that that kept the water out of their homes. You can see the water line. Do you see the water line on this blue house? I mean, do you see that there? Yeah, right in there. So, gosh, it's hard to tell if it barely made it into the home, but I know that home has flooded in the past as well. I sure hope that it did okay this time around. So, again, going through the Lincolnville neighborhood, just assessing the damage here because it is a low-lying part of St. Augustine, one that typically floods, one that the city is trying to work on as far as finding ways to keep it from flooding so much. And we see some folks who were outside just kind of talking with each other and seeing, they're laughing because they see the TV camera, but we're just checking on them as we go through Lincolnville. We're going to toss things back to you as we continue driving around St. Augustine.